Zero tolerance
Anywhere
policy.
around us.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome around. I'm sorry, baby. I'm so sorry I cheated on you. Here you go. I smell better. I look better. I make more money because I don't want to go on 4 dates with this girl just to have her like keep pushing off sex. I actually cold approached these two girls. We're really not even that attractive.
So I got a message the other day. Yo, my dude, hope all is well. Started a podcast channel. You should roast it. Yes, if you look at the name, it's by Drunk Justin, or as you might know him, Justin Mark, our Lord and Savior, the 5'2" magician who can get every woman in bed and then get them to leave. He sent me 3 different podcasts and then realized I wasn't gonna do it. But he was wrong, because I have time on my hands. And today, we're gonna look at the worst podcast I think I've ever seen. It might be a little misogynistic. I think more so it's just a bit of an ego boost. I unfortunately had to sit and watch an hour of that crap. And Justin, if you're watching this, man, dude, why? Why? I don't know what you make me do this for. Clearly we're 2 different people. I appreciate you sometimes, but most of the time I'm like, yeah, God damn, you need Jesus. Anyway, there's also an Asian guy in there, so I brought my own today, and we're gonna take a look at the craziest podcast I think I've ever seen. It's called the Wingman Podcast. Please subscribe if you want to by the end of the video. We're on our way to 600,000, and if you want to follow either me or my boy Alvin, just hit us up on our links down below. But first, a moment from today's sponsor, Raycon. Huh? What's that? Yes, my refrigerator is running. Thanks for asking. I better go catch it. What do you mean? Wait a minute. Is this a prank call? Is it? Click. Don't you hate getting prank calls? Luckily, with Raycon's easy-use functions, all I have to do is tap either earbud 2 times, and the call cuts. Even better, if I hold the right or left earbud for 3 seconds, I reject the call entirely. Thanks to Raycon, I never have to worry about pesky prank callers again. Raycon's look, feel, and sound better than ever. When you order a pair, it comes with 5 sets of gel tips to get that perfect fit. I hate it when earbuds are one size only and constantly fall out. I love the different sound modes. Noise isolation mode blocks out outside noise so you can be completely immersed, and awareness mode lets you still hear what's going on around you, which is great if you're shopping or running errands. And Raycons have over 50,000 5-star reviews. Check it out. This person's earbuds survived a couple nights in a snowstorm, so check them out. Click the link in the description box or go to buyraycon.com/sixteenleo and get 15% off your Raycon purchase. Thank you, Raycon. Boom! Look at that.
He spawned an Asian.
We thought it would be cool to do something like sort of a precursor to a podcast that I'd like to have. Working title, 16leo and Friends. Probably it might change, I don't know. But because of their podcast, we thought we'd react in like sort of our own
podcast
mini
manner.
podcast
Yeah.
manner. So this is us reacting to another person's podcast with our working title podcast. It's episode 16, I think, that we're doing.
Oh, really?
Which is
That kind
kinda...
of works out again.
Yeah. So you liked his intro.
Yeah, I love the intro.
I don't.
I think it's fantastic.
You've got a fan in Elvin.
I mean, the content in itself, not the best, but I just, I love lots of things happening.
Editing.
Yeah.
Ladies,
I like how he doesn't even say gentlemen. Ladies!
As if your audience is all ladies.
Some of the comments are Justin. Out of the 9.
Yeah, there's only 9, so, well.
Look, I don't mean to bag on anyone. If you're starting a podcast, congratulations, Justin. I mean, good on you, really. But I don't think the information is vital because most of the time they spent an hour stroking their ego, talking about how many goals they've been banging. And while I'm just so happy that you're creating new STDs out in this world, Justin, at the same time, I don't think I can go 17 episodes hearing you talk about the same shit day in, day out. It sounds like a broken record.
what do you mean that sucks?
That sucks.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome around. Is that better, Matt?
They should use that as the intro instead of the edit. Now that will get your attention.
Here's how you feel.
Chew 5 gum.
My name is Justin Mark, international dating coach, relationship expert, and co-host of Wingman.
He's relationship expert.
International.
I'm sorry, but you hear him not
Relationship.
he can't say the word relationship, or he doesn't have enough time. He's such an entrepreneur that he doesn't have time to say
Relationship
expert.
relationship expert.
He had a stroke right there.
Relationship.
podcast. We got beautiful Matt Levine here. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome around.
So we have a guest. Who's
We
our guest?
have a guest. His name is Chenguito. Chenguito is actually a gift.
Guito.
To the Mexican monkey.
Sounds like a little Chinese, like it sounds like a Chinese Mexican
Yeah,
mix.
a little bit of a
Racial.
Chenguito is actually a gift to my ex-girlfriend. Sorry, baby. I'm so sorry I cheated on you. Here you go.
That's how they start the thing off. By the way, I think we need some space in between us and a little bit of crash.
Yeah.
You ready?
Spawn her out. Oh!
There we go. It's my boy Crash. I won him at a arcade. I actually paid tickets for this little dingleberry.
It was that I kicked her out of my house in the middle of a snowstorm, and I'm like, I'm sorry, here's a monkey. We were gonna work out, so I took him back.
Can you imagine cheating on someone and then being like, come on, Crash, do it for me. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. And then it's not gonna work out and you're like, fuck that, give me Crash.
He's the most hopeful optimist, like hopeful cheater out there.
Do you like the fact that if you ask him on either hand what time it is, he could tell you? This man has two.
That's baller.
It's not baller.
That's baller, bro.
No.
I only got one watch, so I mean, I'd probably just do it for the lols.
You'd be a menace if I got you another watch then.
Hey man, just think about it. If I somehow my left arm is broken and I still have a watch on my right arm, then I can be like, hey man, it's time to watch a Justin Mark podcast.
I cannot believe you're agreeing with him more than you should. You like the intro. You like his two.
It hasn't even been a minute.
I know that's the problem.
Give me the benefit of the doubt.
By the end of the podcast, I feel like you're gonna be like, I want to be there.
I need help with my relationship.
Weekend, I expect double. I just spent the last 4 days laying in bed with a female.
Good start.
It was almost like my brain, my body was like mentally preparing me.
For what? So anyway, the podcast has zero structure. Unlike Joe Rogan, who has like many guests and people who are interesting, his co-host is a guy called Matt Levine. Unlike Adam from Maroon 5, this guy just takes pictures of bitches. He's also got his hair dyed like a supervillain, and he every now and again says things and laughs very heartily. But as you will see in this podcast, it has no structure. Most of it is just two people having a conversation, which should be good. But the conversation 100% of the time is about girls and how they smash them and also think they're decent people. So you tell me, ladies, what this is. Would you date someone like Drunk Justin? 5'2", on a good day?
Would you even watch this podcast is the real question.
I already bypassed that one for them. 5'2", 100 pounds, pure brown.
Just like that monkey.
Yeah.
Like I just like did nothing but just like slept and just watched movies and just chill.
With a
Zenned out.
female?
Yeah, with a female. We only had sex twice, believe it or not. She kept trying to fuck me and I'm like, no.
I'm just laying in bed. There's nothing. With a female.
But I was also watching Netflix and
she keeps trying to have sex with me, guys. I only did it twice. In 4 days, which is like way below my record.
way too many times.
I was just trying to have a peaceful day, but also lay with a girl in bed. I know what you're thinking. Maybe I could have just laid alone in bed. Impossible.
Can't do it.
Girls just go, they just attract themselves
I'm
to
a
me.
female magnet, literally.
I don't even want to. She broke the wall like the fucking, like that. You know the dude?
I'm preserving my sexual energy. Stay back. I stress release inside white girls.
Like otherwise, I like.
He said he stress releases inside white girls.
Oh, fuck. I thought he said he stress relieves in Whitcoulls. Like he goes into the bookstore and just starts jacking off everywhere.
But what he said was, I stress release in white girls. What he said is infinitely worse than what you heard. You're just a nice human for like, you just give him the benefit of the doubt.
I really am trying.
Wow.
You stress release inside like 21-year-old white women. Last weekend, I hooked up with 5 girls. Weekend before, I hooked up with 3 or 4 girls. So it's like the last 2 weeks, I haven't gotten shit done. I haven't done anything really. I mean, except the podcast, some YouTube stuff, social media content. I haven't really made any more money.
So in the last 2 weeks, this man has made zero money, has gotten 10 new STDs with 9 different women, probably made more Justins in the world.
It sounds like he's putting in a lot of work for a very little return.
Low return, no return.
No return. Considering how nonchalant he kind of says, like, oh, just doing a podcast.
Hooked
doing
up with like,
but I did fuck like four chicks. It was amazing.
Might have been a guy in there. I don't know. The numbers get too high.
Could have been mad. I don't know.
Oh, they talk about it.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. I'm excited for that.
Like 3 weeks, I haven't gone on any dates. Haven't hung out with a girl like one-on-one and like reserved time for a specific girl. I just have them come with me while I'm doing errands.
That's good. It's a good way to do it.
The errand's gonna be really funny. I don't know if you remember it. You don't, right?
I don't think I remember.
This is his errand. This is his errand for the day, guys.
So, for example, today I had one of my girls just like watch me play basketball.
That's his. That's his errand.
You ain't in the NBA, bro. What kind of errand is that?
That's his errand. It's not a hobby. Like he wrote down, like I need to play basketball today. I need to miss 10 out of 10 shots. Unbelievable that he was like, girl, come, watch me, watch me.
Should we do like
No. Shut up.
Don't you need to fill up the car?
What? I'm an angry shooter. I shoot hoops angrily.
Because you haven't sunk one yet. Maybe if he sucked one.
His schedule was, that's why he only had one thing on his schedule. It was to make a hoop. So
He wants to land one between 3:15 and 3:45.
So he spaced out the whole day. He's like, I'm gonna need at least 12 hours for this shit. I guess I don't know him. I don't know I don't know who they are and what type of individuals they are to attract females who are this willing to do random shit with them and have zero payoff, because they seem like they give off nothing that you would want. If that makes sense.
Oh yeah, I get it.
Like, I don't know what, if I sat next to my boy Matt here, besides him missing hoops and me laughing, I don't know what the return on that investment is.
Not much.
And drunk Justin, I just like to take to a roller coaster and laugh because I'm an evil person and they'd say he can't ride it.
If he did, he'd probably fall off, which would also be kind of funny. A little bit.
Or maybe take him to a
sadistic, but
McDonald's and watch him order a kiddie meal. But that's about it.
I'll take the toy from him.
I don't know what the returns are, is what I'm saying.
Yeah.
These are supposed to be some high value men. They don't seem like it.
I think they're trying to portray high value men, but
At least Justin's wearing a goddamn blazer. This man wearing an Iron Maiden.
This guy probably can't even name one song.
I feel like I'm being productive while I'm hanging out with girls.
Yeah, because again, so many guys just like hang out with a girl and then just stay in their bedroom and just like watch Netflix and eat cheesecake.
I feel guilty like doing that.
It's unhealthy. You should feel guilty. Life is short.
He literally just said he spent 4 days doing that though.
He addresses it. He's like, yeah, just like me, I'm unhealthy, but like,
an unhealthy
but I did do it. This is the other thing that you need to talk about drunk Justin. It's called a drunk Justin paradox. Now, it's a math equation done by many scientists and mathematicians. Nobody can actually figure it out. He says shit and then says other shit to contradict himself, which makes him a contradictory person.
Yeah, nice.
But it goes in an endless, like, loop because he doesn't really ever stick to what he's saying and then says something else and then says something else and sticks to nothing. So you figure out the loops throughout this episode, what he says and how he goes back on it every time to say something else that would contradict the last thing.
I mean, based on that pattern, you can tell he's pretty much lying in terms of everything he says. I mean, look how wired his eyes are. He's like, it's like he's trying to conjure up a story in his head as he's speaking, which you know, which is why he has this paradox.
I just hate how he looks like Miami Vice.
He's gonna lay in bed, fucking one girl.
Yeah.
Bro, he can't even reach the ground.
One of the girls I was hanging out with actually saw the list, which was really upsetting because I have like all the names of the girls. So I feel
Oh
like
fuck.
it's really fucked. She got really upset because I have about like 13 girls that I'm like keeping up with. So it's like
13. You're seeing 13 girls right
Even Justin was like, you're seeing 13?
Damn.
I'm only seeing one 13-year-old. How many? But can you, like, realistically, can we be serious for a minute? Can you genuinely keep up with 13 goals?
I can't even keep up with 13 friends.
I can't.
I'm not gonna lie to you, bro.
My family, one goal, my friends can barely do that.
Yeah.
Barely. So this guy's got 13 goals. He's also got a job, a life, one friend, Justin.
Podcast.
This shit. And I don't think this is 2 minutes a day, if that. Hey, Justin, you want to do it? No. All right.
Alright, man.
Busy fucking, huh?
Yeah. Whew.
Why don't they start an OnlyFans? You guys,
That would make so much more sense.
if you guys have the life that you claim to have, you guys would make some real money for it. There's an idea, Justin. You might be making hella money if you just get your OnlyFans. Yeah.
Things. Yeah, you know.
Lots of Indian guys would watch.
Oh, bro, you be breaking it in. I'm sorry, but like,
Lots of rupees to be made, my friend.
that's on the list.
crazy.
Yeah. And it's amazing because I'm pretty-organized. Like I text all of them.
Yeah, for me, it's like it's an all-out war. I just let the girls compete over each other.
You ever seen a man blink as hard as that before?
bro, this dude's on crack or something.
Right? I think that the way that they talk, like for a podcast that's brand new and still started, they're talking like they have like this huge accumulated audience.
Yeah.
Like Matt over here is sitting like, yeah, you know, I talk about 13 girls a day, man. You know what I mean? It's not like, I don't know if it's really as fun as you guys think it is, if that makes sense. It's fun for me to watch because it's hilariously bad. But I
mean, I guess the way their model is literally just two dudes talking about their lives. And
two dudes and a monkey.
Two dudes and a monkey. Us and a bandicoot. However, there isn't much constructive conversations going on. It's literally like if I were to come and talk to you and be like, hey bro, I went to the fucking gas station and bought some milk and then I made a coffee with water. You see what I mean though? That was a really, really bad example, but it's just two dudes talking about their lives. Like if their lives weren't about having sex and it was like this,
I still think that would be funny.
yeah, okay, it would be pretty funny. But I mean, you know, like at a broader audience, who would want to watch that?
Yeah.
So
Elon Musk can manage 4 or 5 multi-billion-dollar companies. I can manage 13 girls.
That's stupid. That's one of those 0 IQ comments that makes me question you as a human being.
this guy compared women
to a full
business,
yeah,
like
to-
multi-billion-dollar business.
Elon Musk is. You compared yourself to Elon Musk, which is already.
Oh, yeah, that-
Elon Musk created what is he?
Tesla.
And before that, Paywave.
Yeah,
Paywave?
that's right. Yeah, he did.
Or
Right?
ZipPay. He said he's gonna buy Manchester United. You're trying to shoot hoops with one goal and make a hoop once a day.
And then chat with 12 others.
Every day.
Every day.
I would love to see your phone, man. I'd love to see just a little proof. Even if it was 6 goals a day, I'd be like, and you can keep up with them.
Honestly, I'd be impressed with 3 girls. Honestly.
Running a $4 billion business. Do you know how like weird that paradox is? That's like being like, hey, if Shaq can dunk, I can definitely, I can definitely fly to the moon. Like there's no real correlation between Shaq dunking a ball and me learning how to defy gravity and get to the moon.
Yeah, like, dude, this girl, it was her birthday. So, like, I had her blocked and I randomly text her. I'm like,
It's her birthday, so I got her blocked. It's like,
Because it's her birthday, he unblocked her.
no. It's her birthday, so I got her blocked because nobody wants to be around me. That's the greatest gift
greatest
drunk
gift.
Justin could ever do is leave.
Oh, yeah.
yo, happy birthday. And then I put her back in my restricted folder and she's like, thank you. I hope you're doing well. And I didn't reply, right? It's like the girl just showed up drunk in the middle of the night to my fucking house,
You are drunk Justin. You shouldn't be complaining. She's probably drunk Cynthia.
uncalled for. I'm like, I called the concierge. I'm like, yo, who the fuck's downstairs? And he was like, oh, it's the girl who wanted to get her name tattooed on her. I'm like, yo, don't let her up.
Did you notice that? The concierge knows who the fuck that is. Who has apparently running lots of hotels or buildings because he stays in an apartment, presumably now, that has a concierge.
That would be like a hotel, right?
Right?
Yeah.
Because there's no apartment in the world that has some dude sitting here like, y'all buzz him up. Unless it's New York, maybe.
Yeah, maybe. Because usually it just buzzes straight to the
But I'll
room,
give him
right?
the benefit
So-
of the doubt. He has a concierge,
Okay.
fine.
All right, big man thing.
But the concierge knows this person who has a tattoo on her ass.
That wants to get a tattoo of his name on her ass or something.
So the concierge is like, Cynthia!
tattoo
Drunk
girl.
Cynthia ass tattoo lady.
Better go buzz old drunk Justin.
But a concierge could never buzz someone up without your
Permission.
because that's illegal.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, but listen.
Anyway, he's like, yo, I already let her up. I'm like, shit.
So that's a lie, is what that is. Because there's no that's like a firefighter being like, I'm off duty when the fire's right there, and then smoking a blunt and being like, fuck this.
Not
And
unless the concierge is actually the owner of the crib.
Owner of Justin's crib.
Yeah, Justin's crib.
And then he's
Justin's
yeah,
crib.
and then he's like, hey, I sent drunk ass to your place. That's a lie, right?
Oh, 100%.
Okay. At least we're
I think we're on the same page.
Yeah.
That doesn't line up.
sorry, drunk shit. I just can't believe that because it's illegal.
Maybe they just wait. He's from Canada, right? Canada.
Yeah, and anyway, you could do a lawsuit for someone letting you into the building for
Yeah,
not.
super nice. Thing. Like, yeah, come on in.
Yeah, I imagine just a normal guy. Hey, imagine me turning up to that place and be like, drunk Justin, cousin. Oh, okay. And then I just turn up to his place, take his shit and leave because I'm from South Africa.
And you just take shits at places. And then
No, not take a shit, take his shit and leave.
I was actually so I had a first date the first date I've gone on in the longest time, earlier today. And this girl was like asking me my dating life, and I was just calling girls in front of her. I went on.
Just calling girls.
How you doing?
What? She's like sitting across from him like,
Yeah, can I get this to go?
let me study this motherfucker. What?
A spreadshirt, and I was creating a t-shirt design for bi girls only. So like in front of her, I'm like, "Are you bi?" And she's like, "No, I'm not bi." I'm like, "Oh fuck."
So you'd think that they were lying about the bi goals thing. Unfortunately, they are not. And I can't fully show you the pictures because they're pretty raunchy. But they did create something called bi goals only. They got people to model it. They were like pretty X-rated models. I guess congratulations on that much.
I'm like calling all these girls in front of her because like I was just like thinking like this girl's sucking my dick, but she's not down to hook up, and inviting all these girls to the yacht party we're doing on Sunday. And after that, it's just like I guess she just saw like, okay, she's got competition, so she like had sex with me.
Nice. But I thought, here's the Justin paradox. Because he was practicing being fully abstinent to get to the yacht party, right? Yet, today, he had his first date. Good for you. But, woo! And he also evidently exchanged fluids with a lady.
God.
So even though, there's the paradox. I'm not going to do this. I just did this. You see that? And it keeps going. It keeps going in triangles. Yeah.
Doesn't hook up with you now?
I don't necessarily get annoyed. I'm just like peasant. Imagine like fucking Ariana Grande knocking your fucking door and being like, "Hey, daddy, let me suck."
Well, she would knock on your door because the concierge would let her up for her. It just would happen. Oh, yeah, that girl who sings that song about the guy. Don't let her up. I did.
She's about my size.
I could take her in a fight. if things come to blows, you know. Is that what you think about Justin? Not usually, but this is one that looks like me. So she's thin, I'm thin.
Your dick. Like, that's how I feel about myself. In my head, I'm like, I'm hotter than most of these girls.
Interesting.
Drunk Justin or gay Justin? I have evidence to back it up.
I'm better looking. I have a better skincare routine.
Metro
Justin?
I got some skin. I mean, I got just
Metro.
wash my face, you know, but
that's the skincare?
Yeah, that's about it.
I'm better looking. I have better skincare routine. My nails are fleeker.
My eyebrows are
I wear heels better than them.
so I can be their height.
And I put lipstick on.
Okay, I'm just gonna be real with you real quick. This might be a biased opinion. Women, I must say, generally smell better than men.
Sorry, this is so off topic. I had Drunk Justin. You should change your podcast name to Bi Before You Try. B-I Before You Try. Because you and Matt been fucking each other.
They definitely
Come
been
on.
fucking.
Come on. Just admit it. There's nothing wrong with it.
There's honestly nothing wrong, dude. Go hard. Because you
go
go
hard.
hard. You go hard, bro. 'Cause, you know, fuck.
I smell better. I look better. I make more money.
He said it twice. I look
smell
better. I'm better
I look
looking.
better.
I look
I make
better.
more money.
I make
wait,
more
my-
money.
My skincare's
I'm more successful.
I'm more, you peasant bitch. I'm more successful than you. So don't touch me unless you're gonna suck me for
look good
another
as me.
Drunk Justin paradox. I don't want you anyway, but please suck me off. But if you're not going to, I don't
take
want
what
you.
he can get.
That's a nice guy on raids.
Oh yeah.
He's got nice. He thinks he's the Red Pill, but he's also got nice guy incel energy. He's got a whole bunch of shit just piled up.
But like in my head, I'm thinking like, if we don't hook up today, there's not gonna be a next date because I don't want to go on fucking 4 dates with this fucking girl just to have her like keep pushing off sex when I can just hang out with another girl who's gonna give me sex right away.
I mean, if you tell a girl that becomes pretty manipulative. I think that it's good to be honest, and if you want to be honest, then that's fine, but the way that you say things is pretty important. So that's something to keep in mind. Like, I'm not going to say that preference is preference. If you don't want to, I can't blame you, but at the same time, there's certain things where it's like, if you're not going to do this, then I'll just find someone else. Kind of a little toxic, right?
Very toxic.
Yeah.
And it's definitely prostitutes.
He is a GTA NPC, honestly. Both of these two are they look like GTA NPCs.
So he literally said, if you're not gonna have sex with me,
I'll
I'm gonna
find
find someone who will. What does that describe?
Well,
Someone-
in Drunk Justin's world, it's anyone. Any
yeah,
girl.
whether you pay them or not, they're still giving it up, right?
I mean, someone's paying.
He's like, well, I don't kiss guys on the first date.
I'm like, I gotta go do my taxes.
No, that's what I mean. It's like, I'd rather.
Thought of a girl not giving head or anything to
Just
Justin.
kissing. No, kissing.
Just
bro.
kissing. The thought of a girl not doing that has made this man turn into a life of good to the point he said, and I quote, I want to do my taxes. You turn this man into such a good guy by not kissing him.
Ladies, you gotta reject him more, and he'll succeed. He'll actually succeed in life.
This
Maybe
guy's
he'll
gonna
start a
become.
business podcast
He's
or
gonna
something.
become an accountant if you don't kiss him. The problem is you keep fucking him, and he's become a delinquent. I guarantee. If this guy had no goals, he'd probably be as successful because he'd have to work so hard. He'd become like a rocket scientist
compensate, right?
and be
Yeah.
like, "Come on, no, fuck me, come on."
I'm a genius. I got money. I got brains. All
I'm
I
a
need is-
genius
all I
with a
need is some-
penis. He's too busy. He's laying in bed like, she's sucking me again. I'm like Kratos. I'm the god of war.
I'm losing IQ points.
Remember-
and she sucks them out.
Remember when the god of war was 5'1", like 100 pounds? I'm like that.
And he was brown too.
He got burnt by the sun.
Like, I've lived in
Exactly.
Ukraine like for like 6 months, and I know the culture. I'm not gonna step into your apartment after, like on the first night. Like, you gotta wait like three dates.
Stumbled a little bit there, bro. And you think you know the culture after 6 months? I'm sorry, man, but like,
And then I think he said they wouldn't come to his apartment after two
yeah,
or three.
and he wouldn't go in them after the first.
But he
date or
said they
something.
wouldn't come into his as well.
Yeah.
That's probably not a Ukrainian. That's probably a Mac thing. It's Ukraine culture to not come inside.
It's,
Are you sure?
And I don't know.
Are you sure that you? Yes, culture, Ukrainian. Apparently, it's Ukrainian culture, Justin.
I'm at the rub. I'm at the club, okay? And I've got a table in the middle of the dance floor.
Weird club. Have you ever seen one in the middle of the? There's like
Bang on in the
people
middle.
are dancing. There's a DJ and there's like dude like trying to eat. Like, can you just get off me,
Playing
bitch?
dice in the middle, like.
I'm trying to eat my goddamn food here. People are dancing. People are just spilling food on me. Come on.
Can I get some lights here? I can't see my dice.
Imagine trying to do anything in the middle of the club. Like the waiter is like, Another bottle on the floor.
I actually cold approached these two girls who were really fucking not even that attractive.
So this is the part where it shows sort of drunk Justin's toxicity. And by the way, if I haven't said it or disclosed, I did an interview with him. I talked to him, and I don't think he's inherently the worst person, but he does. I feel like he's a compulsive liar at
Oh, yeah.
easily.
Definitely.
Yeah. So this is the part where drunk Justin shows his nice guy side, because he is a day game approacher, and so in the day he goes out like a reverse vampire and starts to try and suck people. But so in this particular event, he was trying to day game at the club, night game, I guess. So whatever. He's in the middle of the club, mind you,
With the table.
with the table.
on the table.
People are knocking their knees on that shit. It's called a knee knocker club.
He's about the same height as everyone when he's
He's about the same height
table.
as the table. It's a standing table for him. Everyone's bruising their knees because they're trying to dance at a club and there's a table there. But anyway, now he decides he needs to cold approach people because he needs to warm up. This will be like, it shows the sort of toxicity sometimes that he possesses.
I was just like being friendly and like warming myself up socially. And this one girl, like super ugly little like Indian girl, right? She grabs.
Already, horrible thing to say.
Damn, bro.
I've always maintained the idea that if I don't find someone attractive, they're still a beautiful person.
Yeah.
It doesn't have, everyone's beautiful. Seriously, and I mean that wholeheartedly. Just because I don't necessarily find someone attractive, it doesn't mean they're not a
preference thing,
beautiful
but
person.
Exactly.
I've never called someone ugly in my life, so I'm not gonna do that. So I thought that was a bit mean. But anyway.
Her friend, she's like, we're lesbians. And I literally look at her, I'm like, I'm not fucking hitting on you. Like, what the fuck? Right? Like, because like in my head, I'm like, peasant. You're not hot enough for me to hit on you.
So here's my thing. This seems like a nice guy thing where it's like you go up to a girl and she's like, I have a boyfriend. You're like, well, I wasn't trying to fucking hit on you anyway.
Mechanism.
I was just I'm standing in the middle of my table.
You came up to me, bitch. You and your lesbian friend came up to me.
I was just standing here. I have a blind eye. In fact, I don't know what I'm doing. Okay, I'm just talking in the general area of the club. I don't really. Are you there? Who's really here? But yeah, you can see like his
It's very bad.
Yeah.
Very bad. So he.
Why don't you warm up on
hitting.
someone that you like then?
Exactly.
Why don't you approach
Not
someone
necessary,
else?
my friend. Not
Why? I
necessary.
just don't get it. Why would you start on something and then try and hit on someone that you do like? Like, doesn't make sense to me. That's all.
And this one girl was just sitting by me for an hour, just like feeding my ego, telling me how nice I am and how cool I am and how like what a good person I am. And I'm like,
Because they didn't hear you call that other girl ugly. It was the club. It's too loud.
you don't even fucking know me, right? I might be this total douchebag manipulative dude, but I am an actually nice guy, and she was right about everything she's saying. I'm not trying to.
Do you like that? Do you like him saying that?
He's
I am a nice guy.
bro.
I am a nice guy.
Yeah, I am.
I'm a nice
bit
guy.
of a douchebag, but I'm definitely a nice guy.
You're a
Yeah.
nice guy in the way that Reddit sees nice guys, if anything.
say I'm like the richest dude, right? But it's like
It might be like I have slightly more money. Like,
Yeah, I've got $2.35 more than you, bitch. What do you have? $300? $302.
I have Indian parents. I've got more money, technically. But this part is amazing in why he says he has more money.
I was sleeping. The girl was waiting for me for 2 hours. She was like, "Hey, do you want me to meet me halfway?" And I'm thinking, like, does this girl really expect me to fucking leave my house to go meet her? Like,
So he had a date with her, but he didn't leave his house. Another paradox by Drunk Justin. I know you can have a date in the house, but he'll later on go on to say that he was at a restaurant, right? When he was busy calling
in front of the other girl.
So how did he go out when he was staying in and never came out? Because he says that he's going to get the girl to his place. This is what I mean by the paradox of Drunk Justin. Do you know what I mean?
He's living in multiple timelines.
He's got
week he's doing one thing, and in the same week in a different timeline he's doing a bunch of other things. He's probably the brown Doctor Strange. He's doing that little time stone thing where he's like.
I was thinking we gotta shoot the Wingman podcast, right? So I'm like,
Exactly.
I'll call you an Uber. It's like a $13 Uber.
That's why he said he had more money. That's why. That's the reason. He called a $13 Uber.
You peasant, $13.
He literally said that this is his flex. He called an Uber for. I'm gonna call a flight for someone. Like, I'm just saying, bro. All right, might be the sugariest daddy if he's a sugar daddy. Like, god damn, Justin.
He's a salt daddy, bro.
He's a
nothing but sweet,
he's
bro.
like assault daddy.
Yeah.
Wow.
She'll come straight to me while these guys are, doing the setup for the fucking podcast.
Fucking podcast. I was busy getting a $13 Uber, getting my first date in a while. Fucking her, even though she didn't want to. I was calling bitches up. These people were setting up the shitty podcast. 15 episodes with this Asian.
These shitty. It's only him and Matt saying fucking podcast. I'm fucking Matt. And Matt not putting any effort in. Look at this fucking lazy Asian.
Asian man right here.
And then we go straight into the podcast. Because she was a really nice girl too, like very sweet girl, but she kind of just smelled weird.
She smelled like lilac and roses. Usually I'm used to smelling people who smell like gunpowder or like they just came from a mine shaft.
Usually they smell like 10,000 cigarettes just got fooned into their throat.
They smell like other men because they're all, I find them on the street at 4 a.m. like in GTA. What do you want, man? I don't know what he wants them to smell like.
Well, he smells better than all of them, so I mean, you know, like ideally smell like him, I guess.
He smells like lynx, I bet.
It's Africa.
I was just laying in bed with her, calling it, because like I had already mentally checked out and decided like I don't want to hook up with this girl.
So he didn't want to have sex with her, and she still did it. Oh, this is Paradox City, man. Paradoxical.
And then I'm just like calling girls in front of her, and then like I'm cuddling her while like calling random bitches. Like
Cuddling while calling. So he was at the restaurant like, hello, 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 hello. Now he's in the bed like, hello, 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 hello.
I mean, if you're in a polyamorous relationship, yeah, I get it.
That was the first date, bro.
But he still got her in the sack, so I mean, I think that says more about her than it does about him, if her even exists. So
Compulsive lying.
Yeah, this guy living in VR GTA, bro.
you remember the girl you hooked up with last Saturday? Sorry, last Friday.
Do you remember? What? How do you remember?
Like, what? Did I hook up with? I mean, yeah. Hard.
It's kind of weird how your friend remembers, like, you know, you coming over. You remember that girl you fucked? What? How do you remember?
It's odd that he doesn't remember, considering he has the list, right? And he's like, yeah, I'm a well-organized
She was
guy.
probably not
I
on his
text
list, man.
Yeah, clearly.
This guy's got too many.
He tried to add.
He's
one to
the Elon
list.
Musk of fucking bitches. He's a $1 billion dick man.
If Matt's Elon Musk, who's Justin?
Steve Jobs, I guess. Stephen Hawking, maybe.
Whoa.
The one I had a threesome with, and then I sent her home with you.
Oh, her, yeah.
It just clicked.
Oh, yeah.
Say a few more things so I can remember.
She had hair.
She had, what else did she have?
Teeth, I think.
Teeth. That's possible.
She smiled sometimes.
That's right.
That's the one?
Smiling girl.
Yeah.
Yeah. Hot. She was so good at that.
So apparently she was mad at me. I called my roommate, and he said this girl's mad at me.
Why is she mad at him? What the? He's so mad at me, even though he fucked Matt. I mean, she fucked me.
When she came back, the door was locked, and she never car keys. She was like banging on the door, but I was sleeping. So I called her, and I was like, "Don't be mad." I always do this thing where like I talk in like a little kid voice. I'm like, "I love you. Don't be mad. You're my best friend."
He's a psychopath, right?
That's creepy as hell.
He's
man.
just like, imagine, Justin, I need my keys. Don't be mean. I'm sorry. Drunk Justin like ends up on America's Most Wanted in a few years.
I flipped it on her. I'm like,
He flips it on her, by the way. This is the toxicity and the manipulation nation of Drunk Justin.
I said to her, I'm mad at you. She's like, why are you mad at me? I'm like, because you fucked my best friend. But I sent her home with you. Oh my God, it was funny because
Was it funny? Was it funny?
it was super funny because I was having a threesome with these two girls last.
That's hilarious. Love
See, he
that.
needed to explain why.
That's
it was
funny.
So
I love a
let him-
stand-up who's like, yeah, it's fucking 8 bitches.
If he really wasn't like this, and this was just
Justin is a character, but he,
caricature,
yeah.
then it'd be like perfect.
He's like Andrew Tate without the Andrew weight. You know what I mean? He's not a kickboxer. He's not 6'3". He's not a G. I'm not saying Andrew Tate's good, but compared to Drunk Justin,
And I just wasn't into it.
why did you do it? Why is this man constantly?
He keeps doing things he doesn't want to do.
It's like
Oh, fuck.
Dante's Inferno of sex or something. Like he's like,
I'm jizzing. Oh my God.
have you ever seen someone like in pain to have like, oh, another threesome? Oh, come on, then. It's like he's satisfying them as like a favor to them.
Yeah.
I don't get any pleasure out of this. I'm a gay man.
Pretty
Clearly,
weird.
it's the sex magnet. The Kool-Aid girls just come out every time, bust through the wall.
No, I'm literally texting Matt in the middle of it.
I see why you think he's gay, or bi, because even though he loves talking about fucking women, he loves to involve his friend Matt more.
Can you imagine? Can you imagine scenario? Try not to. Me and some lady or ladies,
Okay.
and then in the middle of it, I'm like, yo. What are you doing today, buddy? What are you wearing?
He's like, shit, okay. Hey, man, how's it going? Let me FaceTime you real quick. Hey, bro, how's it going?
In the middle of a threesome.
And I'm like, yo, I'm fucking these two girls, but I'm thinking about the bottles.
I thought I was gonna say you.
Thinking about you.
I was fucking these two girls, but I was thinking about you. It's called Matt. In brackets, Matt. It's called Thinking About You.
Brackets, man.
First girl from the club. Feel like
Thinking about someone from the club. Why didn't you get someone from the club then? Why'd you get those 2 girls you found ugly or something?
Why are you too busy thinking about it?
Yeah.
You should be doing, bro.
This is the best you could get, and you were still thinking about. It's like the Weeknd song. I'll make love. Yeah, I'm thinking about you while making love through her or some shit like.
I can't really get turned on unless like I really vibe with the girl on an emotional level. You know what I'm saying?
Hold on. Another paradox. Drunk Justin says that he doesn't really feel a sexual connection unless he has an emotional connection. Paradox. He says that if they don't put out on the first date, he's not attracted to them as much. That's a paradox. What do you want, man? What do you want?
Yeah, it's really hard to figure out what he wants. Does he want one night stands or does he want a relationship? Because he seems to contradict both. You know what I mean? Like,
I really want to see where he ends up in 20 years.
because how old is he now?
Anywhere between the ages of 13 and 33.
Yeah, I can
And
see
I
that.
cannot tell what it
I can
is.
see that. So in 20 years, he'll be anywhere between the ages of
33
13
and 53.
53.
Yeah.
Literally, don't come with me.
Dude's having a panic attack, bro.
Yeah.
Like,
Every time he laughs, I feel crazier.
oh, yeah.
I'm taking this off, and she's like, yeah, take it off. And I'm like, can I come inside you? She's like, yeah, come inside me. And I'm like, are you on birth control? She's like, yeah, I'm on birth control. I'm like, if you have a baby, are you gonna keep it? She's like, no, I'm getting an abortion. I'm like, okay.
You said this last time. You said this last time.
What is this, 21 questions, bro? Like, how does he have so much time to keep the mood going as well? If you any more than 2 questions, bro, the mood's gone.
Even one is tough.
Even your one is pretty
I mean,
tough.
there's only one question you'd ask. I'm not going to say it, but there's only really one question you'd ask before, and it's a rhetorical question. So,
Just fucking her. I come in her, and then I'm like, you're on birth control, right? And she's like, yeah. And I'm like, I'm getting you Plan B anyway.
that was the story.
So, first of all, trash story. Second of all, if you're gonna give her Plan B anyway, what was the point of asking her all those questions? You know what I mean? Like,
I'll tell you what the point was. It was so he could brag on his show about another woman that he had banged that I've never seen. I'm sorry, Justin. I've seen 0, and I don't want to see any, but I don't believe that.
start an OnlyFans, bro.
Please.
Then you will have.
I'll reluctantly buy it.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna lie. I'd like to see you have some proof here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'll admit I'm wrong if I can see that I'm wrong.
I'll admit it too.
Because I mean, it's quite a lavish lifestyle you're promoting. You know.
And I still don't know what you do.
Yeah, honestly.
He's a club promoter, but that's not bringing in the money.
No, definitely not.
So Matt brings home this beautiful girl. She literally thinks, okay, this guy's gonna be some douchebag. He shows up and she's like in love with him right away. He brings her to his bedroom, and what's there on his bed?
You!
I'm ready for you, Matt. Let's go.
Matt fucked up by having me in his bed. I was like, Matt, let's go.
There's a used condom laying on Matt's bed. That's why I have.
But he said there was he brought a girl up to his room and there was a used condom, presumably presented on a bed, like on a plate, a silver platter or something, because Matt was so lazy after having sensual activities.
Yes.
He decided, let me just lay the evidence down there.
Instead of disposing it
As
like a
usual,
normal
yeah.
human would, I guess. But
Yeah.
clearly they're not normal.
But as you will learn, this is not the first time Matt refuses to clean anything up like the filthy waste dog he is.
fucking maid. That's why I have a motherfucking maid and 2 female assistants. See, I have the same thing, but my 2 female assistants are on payroll, so they can't say
I'm
shit.
always on grind mode, bro.
If they find condoms, they find condoms. I'm like, sorry, baby, you work for me.
Well, you can't call them baby if they work for you because that's a lawsuit waiting to happen. As your unofficial lawyer, I would tell you to stop that fucking shit.
Definitely a conversation you need to have with HR. Talking about the woman.
Yeah. Also, clean up, man. Put it in the bin. What are you doing?
You really need a maid to throw things in the bin for you, but like,
I mean, condoms? Put it in the bin. What do you just leave it there like a banana peel?
this guy's like reverse Drake. He wishes a girl would get them pregnant, so he doesn't need to put a hot sauce in it. He's like, yeah, anyone want my seed? Anybody?
He pokes holes in his own condoms. Imagine eating a banana and dropping the peel down like this and just leaving it there. Would you not take care of it? Just logically is all I'm saying. But there's nothing logical about these two.
No,
So.
Here's what I do. This is like my actual go-to secret.
It's trust me, the secret's the best secret. You're gonna want to hear the secret. Trust me. This is how to prevent this from happening. The condom thing.
Because I know I'm having another girl over. What I'll do is I will grab a bunch of tissues. I'll like blow my nose in them, even if I don't have to blow my nose. I'll blow
Even if he doesn't have to, even if he's not sick, he's gonna blow his nose. Because this is part of the trick. You gotta listen.
my nose in them, and I'll stuff it down on top of like whatever like garbage there is. right? So that way the girls don't notice it.
I'm gonna be real with you, man. If you're a little sick, I wouldn't want to lick the dick. You know what I mean? Like, if I was in a girl's
Even
dick,
if he's not sick, what he's saying is to hide a condom from someone, he'll buy a box of tissues, blow his nose, and then put the tissues over the condom.
Seems a little excessive or anything. I mean, just put it underneath the trash that's already there, right?
Or, and this is my hack, put it in the fucking trash outside. If someone looks in the trash outside, they're crazy. Nobody's gonna walk into your house and be like, let me see your trash outside. What do you do? This man is committed to the pot to the point that he's willing to blow his nose that's not sick and just layer the trash. When you open it, there's like a box of like well put down tissues and just a condom underneath them because he's too stupid to like take this and put it outside.
He doesn't want to leave the house, remember?
And I thought your maid was doing it for you.
Yeah.
Another paradox, but the maid is like, you do it, Justin.
Is the maid like always there, or is she just like comes in every now and then? Cause
As soon as he starts fucking, she's like, I'm out of here.
I'm not fucking you.
This
I'm
is real.
leaving.
This is,
I'll
you
come
have
back
two,
in like 3 hours.
and you have two of them, and you still need to figure out a literal plan to hide a condom. What you need is a garbage man who's like at 24/7 disposal or something.
That's better than a maid at this point.
Really?
For the lifestyle you're promoting, anyway. I mean,
That's his hack. His hack was literally to use the scenic route to do something where he could just
the
take.
direct route.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah.
Amazing hack, buddy. Amazing.
You got to
It's like
be
a
also a
rainbow
quick
hairbrush.
thinker too, right? Because like plausible deniability, you just got to be like, babe, I don't know. We just have people here all the time. Like we just have parties here all the time. I don't know whose eyelashes those are.
I don't know.
whose hair extensions those are. I don't.
So this is it. This is taking from the song "It Wasn't Me." He's like listening to that. Wasn't me.
You find those lashes on the ground. It wasn't me.
Found his lashes on the ground. Wasn't me.
Got them extensions on the table.
Wasn't me. You even fucked in the shower. That was Mike. I mean Matt. Mike's a different dude, but he will say something sus. Just watch this.
I don't fucking know. She denied. I don't know. Could be Matt's eyelash extensions, right? Yeah.
Could be Matt's. Could be Matt's. How to tell your friend that you're into him without telling him. You start a podcast with him. You do 15 episodes talking about goals, but you drop sly hints in between. Yeah, I was having a threesome, but like...
But Matt left his lash
Matt,
extensions
yeah.
there.
I was like,
yeah,
it could have
man.
been like us. Oops.
You know, a random fact that you probably know, or you probably don't know, but the lash extensions, they used to be called cumbrellas or something, because it's for like prostitutes back in the day.
I did not know that.
Yeah, but apparently it was on TikTok. But anyway, I digress.
Yeah, fuck. Matt slept over the other night and he left his hair extensions.
Matt's laugh is something
It's
to
quite
behold.
entertaining. I'm not gonna lie to you.
Have you ever seen someone blow back like someone shot you in the head?
Yeah, right there. Just now, the first time ever.
It's like derogatory and douchey as it sounds. It's like I'm just like letting them know like what it is, right? Like I told one of the girls the other day, I'm like, come on.
By the way, Justin at this point has gotten to his method of stripping to try and entice his friend to sleep with him without telling him. I feel at this point, drunk Justin is trying to entice Matt more than any goal. And
I think he was being quite seductive. It took him a solid like several sentences to get it off. He was like, I was trying to bang this girl, and then I ended up banging my friend instead, and then your lashes there.
I'm just saying this episode has become less of a two guys talking and more of a one guy trying to move on to the other guy's situation.
Hang out together and be like a big happy orgy family. And then it's also cool because when I'm hanging out with them, dude, I feel like I'm like their dad. It's like I feel like daddy vibes. I'm just like taking care of my women.
An example.
Those two letters mean everything. Feeling dad vibes and feeling daddy vibes are different. Firstly, what the fuck? Secondly, you can't be someone's daddy because someone's daddy's not 5'2" and 86 pounds.
And not 13 either.
I'm sorry, bro, but that's one of the titles that people aren't looking for. I just don't really see a girl calling you that. She might call you little brother if she's really into that, but not daddy.
God.
Sorry,
I have
man.
no comment, bro.
I also don't think I'm ever going to date another girl monogamously. Like if a girl's not okay with me fucking other girls, and here's like I've actually found like this solution.
Have you not already been living this lifestyle? Why? You know what I mean?
I don't know, man. The paradox is like they're so far. I missed some. The drunk Justin rabbit hole is like to the center of the universe.
Just deep.
Yeah,
Just deep.
so you might be right. I don't even.
I think he's just speaking for the sake of speaking at this point. You know what I mean? Like,
Do you think his brain switches off as well when he talks?
oh yeah. I mean, like when I remember watching like the Raw interview that you did, and it was just like talking for the sake of talking. You know what I mean? Like, because it's a lot of things repeated. I mean, you talking about wanting a not to have a monogamous. Oh my god. monogamous relationship, you're already living that lifestyle. So why do you need to state that you're not going to do it anymore? Because he was...
He's just finding things to talk about.
Yeah, I don't know, man.
I feel like if you just see him at a party, he'll just be like, you know what's funny? And then start talking. Because he always says something. He says, do you know what's funny? And it's the least funny thing in the world.
Yeah, that's a reoccurring thing.
Yeah.
100%.
It's just like, I don't need to cheat anymore because I'm just going to not date a girl monogamously at all whatsoever.
Or you just date a bi girl that's like down to fuck girls with you.
What do you say? Date a black girl? What is it?
Date a bi girl, and then she will.
Oh God, I thought he said date a black
sexualize
girl.
with other women with you. But that's only if she's into it.
Wow.
You know what I mean? Like, what are you talking about?
Exactly. Well, I left the room. But
Yeah, you left the room, but she had like
At one point,
she had,
can
like,
I tell a
like,
story? It's actually so
foursome?
fucking
Yeah.
funny. So it's
Is it funny though? Because I haven't laughed once.
Literally every story is supposedly funny. I'm laughing at you. I'm not laughing with you, bro. That's all.
Matt. I was having a foursome.
I had to think about that one, huh? It was one,
2, 3.
do you count your hands? It was one.
Left and right.
It was me and Matt.
And
but
then
I was
left
using-
and right,
yeah.
so that's 4.
But he had 2 hands. It's
so
a sixsome.
sixsome.
With 3 girls. It was a foursome with 3 girls.
He had to count the girls. He's like, I was having a foursome with one was a Siamese twin. I don't know if you count that.
And then Matt and his girl want to join.
So that's like 5 people and a little gay.
So I left the room and I had them join.
You left the room and you had them join. So I left the room. Matt came in. His penis was sticking out. I said, hello. I said, let me blow. I said, oh, no. And then I said, okay, I'll leave. He shed. Like, you know what this is? You know those pendulums that have the 3 rocks in the middle? And
Yeah.
that's the 3 goals in the middle. Drunk Justin. And then as soon as then Matt leaves.
And then he comes back in.
This is what tell me that's not the best analogy for this.
And then like Matt leaves the room. So it's just like 4 girls having sex in my bed.
Let me piece this together. There were 3 girls and Justin,
Mm-hmm.
and then Matt and his girl joins in. So then Justin's leaves, and then Matt leaves. So it's just 4 girls.
Wait.
But now there's 2 guys elsewhere.
Naked, banging. But also when Justin comes back, is the goal still is there now 4 goals?
4 girls, because it was 3 plus
Because
Matt's
so Matt's
singular.
girlfriend is getting
The thing,
from Justin.
Justin's girls.
Yeah, but Matt's
But yeah, Justin then went back,
yeah, and Matt's goal was that.
and so Matt ended up with some seconds.
Yeah, and then while they were playing with each other, those 2 were
Playing with each other,
Yeah.
because they had to be naked to participate, but essentially, or at least the lower half, and then
I think he had that foursome just so he could get Matt naked.
I ain't mad at it, you know. Like if that's your plan,
Well done.
Yeah.
I'm just thinking like, thank God I have a king size bed. Just like 4 girls in my bedroom by themselves, all just fucking. Yo, I don't know if you remember this that night.
I don't know if you remember because I roofied you, but like,
Yeah, he's talking to him like he's done it many times.
oh yeah.
Like this girl who just came to see me because I met her one week prior to the guy who saw my bed. Yeah, so she really brought a guy just because she was nervous. This is a cute little 19-year-old girl.
And I walk out shirtless, wearing a fur coat, wearing a chain and a fur coat and shirtless, right? And I had like the Louis V belt. And like, so I just look like the biggest douche ever. And so the girl's like, why are you shirtless? I'm just, it's like hot and
Just about. No pants. Just
Wearing
about.
like a WWE belt.
Louis Vuitton one though.
Yeah.
So just like this, and his balls just hanging.
full disclosure. And I'm having an orgy right now. So do you want to join or like, should I go back? And she was just like so pissed off because this girl literally came all the way to come see me. And I'm just like, join the orgy. Otherwise I got to go.
I gotta go.
What the fuck? Anyway, so I'm just like, okay, peace out. And then, so I went back in the room, and then when I came back out later, they were gone, and they stole your vape.
The smoke flowing out of the look of
He's not feeling this one.
steal my vape, these bitches.
It's a good thing I got 10 more.
Do you notice that Matt being naked in the story has no effect on the story? Matt was naked. Anyway, these girls stole my vape and shit. Like, oh, this is.
But I vividly remember that Matt was naked, bro.
I was like, man, he's got a nice dick print. I wish I could see what's underneath that, and I did.
This bitch stole your vape. Like, she was so pissed
Yeah.
off. She's like, she probably thought it was my vape. She's like, fuck Justin. Like,
You know, we had
Imagine being so pissed off you take someone's vape. You go to their house, you can take anything you want because this guy's off his head, looks like a Hulk Hogan, malnourished Hulk Hogan. You know what I mean? He's got Louis Vuitton. His balls hanging out.
Yeah.
Walking around the house like an idiot, trying to find the place. And then she's out there, she could steal anything. She's like, I'm gonna take the vape that was on your lips and just suck on it and take it home. But it was Matt's, the only other person in his house that day during the orgy.
we had 2 of your other girlfriends like in the living room. right? And they saw the guy like take it.
Yeah.
And I was like,
I'm sorry, paradox number 106. 19-year-old girl, supposed to be into drunk Justin, sees two girls in the living room, doesn't think about it. Paradox number 106. An orgy is going on in his bedroom, nobody can hear it.
There's 6 women in the house.
You
Whatever.
telling me it's an orgy and nobody, everyone's silent? Like, shh. Really?
What are the 2 girls in the living room doing, bro?
Just, can I get in that orgy now? Can I get it? Can I get in now?
Is number 32 ready to go?
Yes,
I'm ready. Oh,
yes.
yeah, okay.
Got my fake eyelashes.
That one's mine.
whatever.
Part of the game.
Whatever.
Such a degenerate, douchey lifestyle, but I love it, dude. I called him out on it, and then like I later on just so happened to find $100 on the floor later.
So the next story, drunk Justin is talking about 2 girls who stole $100 from his wallet and then threw it back on his floor. I think this man popped some LSD and forgot that he took out $100, threw it on the floor, and was like, oh, probably the girls.
Drugs make you see some crazy things.
But I'm like, there was $100 in my wallet. It's like missing. It was in my drawer. You guys are in my room.
Now it's on the floor.
Now it's on
somewhere, and they left.
Back in the day, back in 2019, I was pulling bitches like crazy. Like I went through like
Yeah, that was his prime.
Now he's settled down a little bit.
He's settled-
only orgies now, not like full on harems.
He had 4 last week and 5 the week before. He settled down.
Back in 2019,
Oh,
he
he
was
was
the
pulling.
Persian prince, bro.
Hell yeah.
like
He
the
was
whole-
Arabian night, eating pussy by day.
and then eating matchstick by night.
breakup. I was so upset. I was so like fuck boy energy where I was like, I want to fuck so many girls, but I wasn't like,
How do you think he has a relationship? Because he said that he was in monogamous relationship, so he was constantly cheating on this girl because there's no way this man could not have an STD a day. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah,
So,
yeah, I get that.
so how he was in a relationship, but also hurt by this girl who broke up with him somehow, even though presumably this man cheated on her more than, a student cheats on a test who needs the results. You know what I mean?
mad at girls. I just wanted to like fuck a lot of girls to spite my ex-girlfriend and stop thinking about her at all whatsoever. I think in 2019, if I remember correctly, I hooked up with like 90 something girls. Okay. So just shy of 100 girls that year.
It's a lot of goals. Toronto area is in trouble, man.
It's not impossible.
Oh, it's not impossible at all. It's if he's a club promoter and he said hooked up, he might have kissed 90 something girls.
Yeah, plausible.
Very, very plausible. Very.
Maybe even against their will, Like a kiss is a kiss, a hookup's a hookup.
Very
yeah.
probably against their will, actually.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm more impressed at the fact someone would want to date this man, but all right.
What happened was I'm pulling like just mad girls, like just crazy, just nonstop. And I wasn't screening the girls. Like think about this. You wouldn't run around the streets asking random men to come to your house.
You would, but I wouldn't.
Right? Probably some of them would be criminals. Maybe some of them would have weapons with them.
And where are you going? To the jail cell? You're in Canada, bro.
Maybe some of them would be like fucking, I don't know, like a rapist. Maybe one of them would be like a serial killer. Maybe one of them would be like just a douchebag. Maybe one of them just gonna like be an asshole, right?
Do you like the order of it? Serial killer, murderer, or the worst of all, a douchebag.
He's the douchebag.
I don't care if he kills me, but if he's mean to me while he does it, I hate him. I hate him.
Oh my god, my feelings.
You stabbed my heart literally, but metaphorically it hurt more.
The girl I was hanging out with earlier today, right? When I
Yeah, I remember the one, the one that you called, calling, had involuntary sex with her. Shh, yeah, all of that. Yeah, I remember her.
when I initiated intimacy with her.
Oh, you did it. I thought you didn't want to. Remember how he said he didn't want to and she smelled?
Abstinence. Not
Remember?
bad. Yeah,
and you didn't want to and you were over it. But you initiate. Okay, go on. Paradox. How many paradoxes? 7, 8, 9?
108.
There we
I
go.
believe it was.
And she said, she'd like, no, like I'll suck your dick, but like we can't fuck until the second date.
Right, of course. But I thought they did have sex.
But then I told her, I'm like, look, I know you think I'm gonna judge you if you hook up with me on the first date, or I know you think I'm gonna like think of you less, but actually I'm gonna like you more. I told her this, I'm gonna like you more if you hook up with me today because you're turning me on and I'm really fucking horny right now.
Yeah.
And again, we go to the paradox of drunk Justin saying he gets turned on when he's emotionally invested. But to be emotionally invested, apparently he has to be turned on. So that's
And
a
not
physical.
give a fuck, which
Yeah.
doesn't really make sense.
So the
if you
paradox never ends with this man. The lies don't stop. It might as well be water running through Mount Everest for drunk Justin.
Yeah.
It's about that. It makes about as much sense as that, to be
don't-
honest.
Yeah, definitely.
And I'm more likely to see you again if you hook up with me. It was just a very logical thing.
Yeah.
But like I wasn't even trying. And then like later on, she was just like, yo, Justin, get a condom. And I'm like, all right, cool.
So he went to Matt's bed
Picked up the used
and
condom.
then put it on.
This will still fit.
By the way, can you see how like taxing this is? Like we've only watched. I cut this down from an hour to 20 minutes.
My brain hurts. It's less that it hurts my brain and more that it's just a lot of the same thing over and over again. And the brain hurting part is that I'm mentally drained. I'm so tired of hearing the
I
same
checked out mentally a long time ago.
Yeah.
These two just bragging about how many women they hooked up with.
Cool, like great for you, man. But I mean, I feel like that should stick in the confines of your friendship. You know what I mean?
Because I don't know how many more episodes I could take of this before I start hearing other things. I've never heard this man talk about anything else besides this. I don't know if he has a personality outside of this. I don't know what he likes, what he dislikes. I could not tell you his hobby. I could not tell you his favorite movie.
This is his hobby. His life is the movie.
Yeah.
Or at least what he perceives as his life is the movie. So
Yeah.
Like, you can't really seduce a girl physically. Like, you can.
You can't, because you're 5'0". I can do it. You can't do it.
I could do it. But
Don't say everyone can't.
it's not a general thing.
There's a saying: if you seduce a girl's body, she's yours for the night. If you seduce a girl's mind, she's yours forever.
Give a man a fish, he'll eat for a day. If you teach a man to fish,
then-
he'll have sex for a long time now.
That water wet.
I could just imagine a scene where Matt walks into a club and he's like, Justin, do you have any girls for me? And he turns around, he's like, is the water wet?
Right? So you see, I like to seduce girls mentally. I like to seduce girls mentally where they just like submit to my frame.
So manipulation or like what? What is he talking about? They submit to me. I seduce them.
Submit to my frame.
Seducing and submitting to my frame are two different, right?
Yeah. Very
Being
much
charming is one thing.
That's seduction. Right?
Being charming, you can seduce someone. Being sensual, being...
Submitting.
Yeah, submitting is I got you on my basement. I watch R. Kelly. I looked at his tactics.
Oh,
And they can also see I don't need them. I don't give a fuck either. And if they don't hook up with me, I've got all these other fucking girls, so it doesn't matter anyway. But if they hook up with me, that means like we shared a moment and we're more connected on like a more intimate level. So I'll feel more comfortable with them to invite them out to cool things. And
What? Let me ask you a question. Like realistically, what are these? Can you see at the end of the podcast what they're worth? Like in terms of what would a girl looking at them be like? I'd like this.
what would they gain from this? It's
Yeah.
Yeah.
If you look at Dan Bilzerian or something, even though he's a fraud, man had hella
I mean,
money.
you still get mad exposure with him.
Exposure, because he's not. I've got more. Sorry, Justin. I've got more exposure than you on all platforms.
But that's the parallel. You know what I mean? Like with Dan, you know, you're getting that exposure or money or pay.
So it's not
whatever.
exposure,
So
money.
maybe if
Potentially.
they genuinely have that kind of money.
not
and-
looks.
because
Sorry.
they keep saying they're not paying them, but I'm sorry, but I just really don't believe it. I
It's
feel like
not
they're
looks.
being
It's not
paid.
money. It could be money. It's not
Could be money,
exposure.
yeah. I feel like
It's not personality.
I literally think the only thing would be money. I just don't see what kind of benefit. Like I don't even want to be friends with the dude. No offense, bro, but like
I feel like I have more money than him.
I just don't know what you would add to my life.
Back in the day when you were in high school, like no one liked you in high school.
Open mouth laugh. No one liked you in high school.
because I met you when you were in like, I was first year college and you were in 11th grade.
He was first year college. College.
he-
College is union.
Yeah. But Matt was in 11th grade.
And like the issue we both had
Is how the fuck you met.
That's an issue. That's
was that like nobody wanted to be our friends, right? And now it's like come full circle where it's like literally
Also, it's
who
a,
want to be you don't even go to the school, bro. What the fuck?
nobody likes me.
Come on, like me, bro.
That's because you go to college, bro. It's also like, you know, it's a weird way to dox yourself. This dude's still making friends in high school. You're in college.
trying to make friends in high school.
And you're like me, no friends. And he's like, yeah, but I still have prom. You know,
I still got a couple years to go in this kind
I'm still growing as a human.
everybody wants to be our friends. Like everybody wants to come to our parties. Everybody wants to come to the penthouse. Everybody wants to be at our table. Every fucking, you know what's crazy? I was at the club the other day.
That's crazy. Every story starts with I was at the club.
What you do every weekend, and for some reason, this one time, it's crazy.
And this girl is like, hey, Justin, can I take a picture with you? My best friend is a huge fan of your podcast.
That is crazy. In fact, that's implausible because I looked at the comments. There's not many girls who messages, if any. I think there's one that I've seen here.
Huge fan is an overstatement.
Yeah.
Like an extreme overstatement.
I shouldn't say this, but Junk Justin has messaged a few people that I know girls because they've either followed him or looked at his story and they've ignored him. Sorry, man.
We just started the podcast like 3 months ago. And I have fangirls.
Yeah.
What the fuck?
But you don't, though. But you don't.
Jack Sparrow.
Jack Sparrow commented doing timestamps with no actual information on what the
What
time.
is it each time?
He
What
just
is-
Yeah, no, we went through some of your comments. I can't see it, bro.
What the fuck? This is fucking insane.
It is insane.
You are insane, bro.
It is insane. You're right.
If a girl even looked at me I would literally have panic attacks. Like I would go home. Like, I wish I had discovered journaling back then, but I hadn't. So what I would do is I would literally just sit there. Like I'll go home from school and sit there on the
Spread out like that.
And it just makes him look smaller. I've never seen a man like open himself up and look smaller.
He's a small dude.
He is a small dude, bro.
stairs of my house and just like think and rationalize about this like 12-second conversation of a girl saying, "Hey, Justin." And I was just like thinking about it for hours. It was fucking crazy, dude. It's like mental illness, bro.
It's not mental illness. It's a very normal thing to be that age and to have those feelings. What are you doing, man? It's a normal thing to have those thoughts.
Himself.
You're like expecting to be yourself now at presumably 26, 27.
It's like him from the future went back in time
and then
was
slapped him in the face.
This is what you're gonna become, so start acting like it, you know?
You should be acting like that. It's a good time period to be innocent. I mean, clearly you're the whatever lifestyle you're living is crazy.
I'm shy. And at nighttime, I'm like, "What's up, baby? Let's go have a fucking orgy."
We were joking.
What's up, baby? Let's go have an orgy. Let's go have a sandwich. Let's go to McDonald's.
We're going out with Lucas as soon as the sun goes down.
the buttons come undone. the glasses go on.
It's like you're like anxious during the day, and as soon as the fucking sunset comes down,
Like a fucking werewolf, dude. I just know every girl watching this is gonna be like, "These guys are such douchebags."
Correct.
If there are any girls watching this.
Incorrect.
And to answer that, I'll tell you, I am, baby girl.
Yeah, I know, man. His shirt is getting more and more unbuttoned. I tell you, by the end of it, his pants is gonna be off.
Actually, it's actually more unbuttoned.
Yeah.
I didn't even realize.
Yeah,
I could
man.
have sworn it was like this.
It was.
I couldn't see his chest hair before.
He keeps unbuttoning. He's gonna get Matt in the sack. By episode 20, it's gonna be like we have a secret, and it's like me and Matt we fucked. Come on, let's
Just
talk
a bit
about
of a
it.
callback. He was like, serial killer, a burglar, whatever, and a douchebag.
Yeah.
And then he's like, they're gonna think I'm a douchebag. Well, guess what?
I am, baby girl. They should put him in 365 days. Definitely will have more victims in the movie.
Oh yeah.
I'll see you next weekend.
but you're not though.
No, I think we're so respectful though. I think we're so fucking honest and respectful.
Well, that's the thing. That's what makes us different from a lot of.
Oh, I'm sorry. I almost skipped past the lies like went past my head. It's not even a paradox. That's just a plain lie. Calling someone ugly, saying they smell, the myriad of things that you do is disrespectful.
But they're nice guys.
Again, Reddit nice
It's
guys.
what separates them from other douchebags, right?
Yeah, you know, ladies want a guy who can treat them like a queen. Be there for them.
But he treats them like peasants.
Yeah.
They love that apparently.
You need a bad boy approach. Treat you like dirt, and then watch you grow from the soil.
Ooh, that's fire.
Guys who are assholes, stop hanging out with.
Yeah,
you know?
we're very slow to hire, fast to fire.
Fast to fire for sure.
If we find like girls and guys, if we
Slow to hire, fast to fire.
Yeah, like he screens them, but as soon as they do something, drop. So like, I don't want you in my life, but if I want you in my life and you mess up once, dropped. Because I'm such a high value man, I can do that.
what we do is this is actually really crazy because I don't know any other people who do this. If we have like a girl or a guy that we don't like, we'll do like a group phone call or like a team meeting. Like we'll like literally
100%.
meet.
So nobody else does this in life. Has a group meeting about someone and then possibly blacklist them. No company, nothing. Nobody's thought of that idea. He's like, I haven't seen anyone who's done this. In friend groups, that's just toxic.
That's very toxic.
In businesses, that's crazy. Drunk Justin claims that his influence is so big that if he makes one call, that they will be banned.
eradicate, yeah.
But what he goes on to say is that not only are they banned from one club, they're banned from every club because he
Is
has.
the influential
So
guy.
he's like
He
a
is-
mafia boss, really.
I mean, make a couple phone calls, people just blacklisted. And here's the funny thing, because we have all the club access, it's like they just
You don't come to this club anymore.
You are banned. Shadow banned, bitch.
their entire social life just like gone.
Entire social life because of Drunk Justin. He can make or break Toronto goals. He's like Drake of Toronto, except there is a Drake in Toronto. So he's like the Weekend of Toronto, except.
There is.
So I guess he's like the Drunk Justin of Toronto.
Which apparently is better than both Drake and The Weeknd combined.
Combined, yeah.
I mean, it's not that we're being assholes. It's just like they're doing things that are like hardcore red flags and
Hardcore red flags. If you go back a few minutes, they were being weird. It's a hardcore
That's
red
a
flag.
flag, man.
You have a barcode tattooed on your fucking forearm. Like someone's gonna put you in a store and like actually put you in the beeper and you're calling other people weird? Come on, man.
Come on, you're selling yourself as a product.
You're selling yourself short, buddy.
Yeah,
Come on.
this guy.
Come on.
when they're just running around just like as if it's like an all-you-can-eat buffet, like harassing girls. And I'm like, yo, bro, what the fuck are you doing?
And we have no tolerance for like
No,
harassment
fucking zero tolerance
anywhere
policy.
around us.
I've seen you go out on the street and follow a girl in when they go to a random place just to get away from you.
I don't know if you know this, Justin, but that's what you call harassment.
And we have no tolerance for like
No.
harassment.
Maybe it's just in the private confines of his little party pad. But even then, I would question your ability to not harass these people.
All right, DJ.
You just slapped my fucking friend. What the fuck? Get out of my house.
She was saying it was a joke. It was a joke. I'm like,
Oh yeah, guys, we are working on a brand new merch line. I hope you guys are fucking excited for that. We're gonna have.
This dude is going off so many tangents, bro. Remember that bitch that slapped you? Yeah, throw her out. But also, we're doing a new merch drop, guys. Buy my shirt, buy it only.
In the middle of like, hey man, I defended you. Remember I defended you?
Yeah, man, I appreciate
What?
that.
No, there's a new shirt I got.
Oh, okay.
Fucking craziest fucking merch. I genuinely believe the Women Podcast is going to go on to be #1 podcast in.
Listened to by everyone in jail for sure when they get to Guantanamo Bay.
This dude couldn't even say the words properly. I think he was having a stroke, literally. He was like, I did it #1 podcast.
The Women Podcast
#1 podcast.
Canada. Definitely
Hell,
number one dating podcast for sure.
#1 podcast.
Number 1 podcast in all of Canada. Yeah, I'm drunk, Justin. If he actually talked like that, I'd actually.
And then if Matt started speaking an Asian accent, oh my god, this is the best podcast ever.
Sure. #1 podcast in Canada. Probably one of the #1 dating podcasts on the planet.
Planet. Maybe not this planet, but like on a planet. Maybe Pluto.
That's how we should advertise it. This is the #1 podcast on a planet.
On a planet. I'm not going to specify, but it's the #1 podcast / the only podcast.
#1 planet.
#1.
Sorry, a little too much LSD. #1 podcast on the planet Jupiter.
I think so. When I put a new YouTube video out versus what I'm excited for with the Women, I see more potential with this. I think this is going to have more influence and more impact in the world in the most positive way possible.
And negative. Let's be real. But, let me see when you started the podcast. Okay, so he started it half a year ago. He's still under 1,000 subscribers. I know for a fact because I read your status. It took you 10 years to get to 100K on your main channel, and you average maybe a few thousand views, if that. I'm not saying that you won't be the biggest podcast, but I'm saying it's about as long shot as a sniper with a double scope. You know what I mean? Yeah, that's a long range shot, buddy. But you know.
Not impossible.
Yeah, all power to you. Also, you can listen to the podcast on Spotify. New episodes every Sunday, but he hasn't posted for a month, which is 4 Sundays.
And it's going to be so fun for everybody involved.
Except the people listening.
And here's the best part. A lot of you guys can come to our parties, especially if you're a cool girl watching our content. If you're a cool dude, maybe even potentially some of our events, we'll do like meetups and shit in the future. And I'm just so excited to see what's to come here. We'll see you guys soon.
I like how he had to like talk about how great it is 15 episodes in. Like he couldn't have said it in the first episode, or maybe he did. I don't know, but like
We'll see you guys soon. See you soon.
See you guys soon. Talk to you soon.
That's how he signs up. We'll see you guys soon.
Talk to you soon.
See you soon. Matt's just sitting there like I'm done.
oh, how soon is soon, man?
So that's the podcast. That's the Wingman podcast. If I had to review it, I'd say it's a slog off a watch, if anything.
Mind numbing for sure.
I know in some podcasts he's had goals, but I haven't been brave enough to watch them, and I don't think I will. It is very mind-numbing, and I don't know if I'm capable of watching more, Justin. Maybe if you made this a little funny or maybe a little more enticing. See, if you want me to compare it to Joe Rogan or something, he has comedians, and if, other podcasts are comedians, so they have funny things to say. The thing with the podcast is 2 things. It's either entertaining or informing.
Yeah, educational, right?
And one of the 2 things is happening.
And all that.
And no podcast is just 100% braggadocio and nothing else.
There's some substance that isn't just about you guys. I get it. If I were big, like you said earlier, if you had someone to find this already, people are there for you, right? But I don't think people are there for you, bro.
So the fact that it's lacking everything makes me question how far this podcast is gonna go. And that is all I have to say about that. Did you like the podcast? Did you guys like this weird version of the podcast? I think it was pretty fun.
Yeah, it was fun. I enjoyed it. I had more fun doing this than I
Than
did
watching that.
yeah.
I feel like if we had a little table or something else, maybe a sign, we might have something. So if you guys like the idea of a podcast, a 16leo podcast, let me know down below. I always thought of doing one because I actually did before I started my main channel, and then I think maybe it might be time to redo it. So if that's something that you want to see, leave a comment down below, leave a like, subscribe, and until then, we shall see you later. The 16leo podcast. Goodbye.
Let's go. See you soon.
See you soon. See you soon. See you soon.
She ain't even gotta ask, she did the dash and bit it last. You know it dash and she know. Baby like to scream and holler.